Hello everybody.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to your Healthy at Home series. Thank you for joining us on this Monday afternoon.
Hopefully everybody's outside getting a little bit of vitamin D. It's really nice out there. So today, guys, we're going to go over the neck. This is a big topic. Just like the low back, there's a lot of different things that happen with the neck. Just to preface, I just want to let you guys know that this is not for acute neck pain or acute neck injury. This is basic information to help you guys feel better at home with neck pain while we're all just relaxing. Okay?
And also want to thank everybody who's provided comments, feedback, suggestions for new topics. So we're going to be tackling those down the road. And also just to let you know, we have now imported this Healthy at Home series, video series, into our website. So just visit gravenhurstchiropractic.com and there'll be a new videos tab and you'll see all of our series that we've put together. Today will be number 5. So you can reference them as needed and perhaps direct friends or loved ones to the website who may need some self-management techniques. So we're just going to wait a few more minutes for others to hop on who want to catch this big topic about the neck and the pain in the neck that we called it. So we'll just get started then. So as Dr. Mike mentioned, the neck is a huge topic. There's so many causes. There's whiplash, arthritis, poor posture, ergonomics, hunching over that computer, reading in bed, even grinding your teeth at night. There's so many causes for such a small area. So let's have a look at this area and we'll explain why. So you can see this is the cervical spine, otherwise known as the neck. It's actually made up of only 7 bones, starting counting from the base of your neck as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the neck is really this just small area right here that's made of 7 bones called vertebrae. In between all of these lies something called a disc, which is a nice spongy pillow for your bones to rest on because they don't like bone on bone. And also it's a good shock. At the sides, you'll see a number of these yellow cords here coming out. They're coming out of the spinal cord. So they're extensions of the spinal cord that come out at every single level. They travel down your arms to your hands. They go up to your face. They even go behind it, your back to your shoulder blade. They provide signals and messages about temperature, pain, also sensations of numbness and tingling. They give your muscles strength and tell your muscles when to move. All of these sit right here, on top of which lies, believe it or not, a whopping 26 different muscles that help support this neck. Why so many muscles, you might ask? Well, the big issue is this bowling ball that sits on top, this 10 to 12 pound weight that can wreak a whole lot of havoc when this is not positioned properly on your neck. Now, modern technology has been great. However, it's also been a real problem for the musculoskeletal world. And we now have a new condition that's called text neck, believe it or not. And what a timely topic to be talking about neck pain and text neck than right now, when so many of us are working from home and spending a whole lot of time on devices. So we're going to walk through what this text neck actually looks like. That's a tongue twister, actually. So, just assume that I have my phone on and I'm doing my texting here.
So if Kelly's doing her text, her head is exactly equal and over top of her neck, so it's not tilted forward or back. The pressure of her head on her little small cervical spine or neck is if she simply tips it forward only about 5 more degrees or 15 degrees, the pressure now on her neck goes up to 27 pounds. If she tips it forward to 45 degrees, that pressure is close to 50 pounds. And if she goes to 60 degrees, which is where most people text when we see them in public, the amount of pressure of that head on that little spine is now a whopping 60 pounds.
Can you believe it?
That's a lot of weight to be carrying. Now, the condition that develops because of this chronic posture is that we get very weak muscles in the front of the neck called the longus colli muscles. We get weak muscles between the shoulder blades called the rhomboids. We get very tight muscles in the chest called the pectoral muscles. And we get very tight muscles, which we all know about, in the trapezius muscles, which go up the side of the neck. So there's a term that is coined for this when we have weak muscles in the neck, weak muscles in the back, we have tight muscles in the chest, and tight muscles in the trapezius, we call this upper cross syndrome. So we have a cross of weak muscles and a cross of very tight muscles. The central stress for that cross point is actually C7T1, okay? So when we have weakness here, tightness here, and tightness here, the stress point is right at C7T1. Now we get that radiating pain up the back of our neck, which can radiate up to the top of our head and result in what's commonly known as cervicogenic or tension type headache. This accounts for up to 80% of headaches in society.
Now we also have a situation that we talked about where people will complain of numbness or tingling or a burning sensation that runs down their arm, sometimes to their fingertips, or sometimes that tingling goes to their shoulder blades. And that's also an indication of those little spinal nerves that we talked about earlier that are also becoming irritated simply by the position and alignment of your neck. So another sign that you need some assistance. So coming into the office, we would do things like chiropractic adjustments, which are true ways of helping restore motion to your joints, your muscles, and your ligaments. Acupuncture, great way to tap into those nerves that we talked about to help with the signaling, help modulate those pain signals and get that nerve back to function. We might do something like interferential current, which many of you may have had already, sticky pads on your back that helps to stimulate those tight muscles that Dr. Mike was talking about. We also have something like rock tape. You can see I have rock tape on my back right now, lifting the skin from the underlying fascia to allow proper movement and better mechanics. We also have, I recommend, cervical pillows. Now, cervical pillows here are important because we spend 1/3 of our life asleep. And of course, we want to maintain that nice C-shaped curve of your neck. You can lie on your pillow on your back or on your side, but the purpose is to help maintain proper alignment so we're not getting into all of these problems. Shockwave therapy is another very useful tool we use to address those really tight knots that exist between your back, those irritating, hyper-irritable knots, and also that tension that lies in the trapezius muscles as well. So there's a lot of things in office that we can do to help you, but especially right now, you can do from home. So we're going to talk about some postural techniques, some stretching, and some strengthening that you can do to avoid this whole situation and avoid that text neck issue. So first and foremost, let's get into this text neck. So what you want to do is be very mindful of your posture. So first and foremost, we spend so much time on our devices. First and foremost, take a break. And when should you take a break? Every 20 minutes. You should take a break, lift your head up, gaze forward 20 feet, and look for about 20 seconds into the distance. This will not only help your eyes, but this will give your head and your muscles, those 26 muscles, a break. Now, while you're breaking, switch positions with your phone. Don't always hold it in the same place. In fact, I like to use, a good friend of mine, Brad, got us a nice stand so that I can change the position of my phone height if I'm using it quite a bit. So since changing positions and heights, you're going to alleviate some pressure in those areas. So you also want to take a break when you're doing this to engage in some stretching exercises. So my fan favorite, and so many of you are going to chuckle because I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, chin tucks. Chin tucks are my absolute favorite. You can do them while driving, but especially to get out of this position. What you're going to do is you're going to look on the horizon, keeping your eyes gazing forward. You're simply going to retract your head back in like a turtle in a shell, giving yourself a double chin. You're going to hold that for about 10 seconds.
Basically, you're feeling like your chin's being pushed towards the back of your skull.
That's right. If you're in a car doing long distance driving, you can use your headrest, pushing your head into the headrest for 10 seconds.
This helps to stretch those deep muscles in the back of the neck that get really tight, that cause that cervicogenic or that tension type headache.
That's right. Now, you also can't forget about the shoulders. There's no sense in having rolled shoulders and trying to get your neck back. So I always like to say, when you're taking this rest from your device, roll the shoulders back as well, and then follow with your chin tuck. And that can be very helpful in getting things back in alignment.
So the first stretching exercise there, guys, is the chin tuck. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple other stretches for you.
That's right.
So the second stretch that I really like to do, and is very important, is to stretch those tight trapezius muscles right here. So all we want to do is take our right arm to start, if we're doing the right side of our neck, put it behind our back, and we're just letting it drop, or just letting it relax the shoulder, putting our other hand on top of our head, and then gently tipping our head sideways. So doing this helps to isolate the trapezius muscle, or that tight neck muscle that goes up in the back of the head. If we tip our head forward just a little bit, we'll also engage the levator muscle, the one that goes down into our shoulder blade. Okay, so we want to hold the stretch for 30 seconds, and we want to do it 3 times on the right and left side, even though one side may be hurt, because we want to stretch both sides to get more flexibility. And we're breathing through the stretch and totally relaxing. Okay, so the third stretch is to stretch that scalene muscle in the front. Now these muscles can be so tight that they can compress a neurovascular bundle of nerves that come out of the neck, those little yellow nerves that go into the arm and give us the numbness and tingling. So what we're doing here is we're taking our hand, putting it underneath our collarbone, taking the other hand and reinforcing it. We're tractioning down just a little bit and we're looking up into the opposite direction. So we're feeling that nice stretch down the front of our side of our neck. Again, holding it for 30 seconds and doing it 3 times on the right and left. So the first stretch was a chin tuck to stretch the deep muscles in the back of the neck. Then we had the trapezius stretch to get the side. Now we're getting the inside front. So we've hit all 3 areas of the neck. Okay, so those are the stretches. Now we want to do some strengthening. So it's important to stretch that weak muscle deep in the front called the longus colli, caused by the chronic stress of using a cell phone. So we're going to lie on our back. We're going to put our head on our bed. We're going to chin tuck in. And then we're just lifting our head about 2 inches off the table. Okay, we're not jutting forward because that causes more weakness. We're doing the chin tuck in and 2 inches off the table. And believe it or not, this is actually quite challenging because you're lifting that 10-pound bowling ball off the table. And you're trying to use your deep neck muscles that are already weak to provide that lift. So we're doing about 2 sets or 3 sets of 10 reps a day, 5 days a week. Okay? So now we want to do an exercise to help address those weak muscles in between the shoulder blades called the rhomboid. So we're going to be lying on our tummy on our bed, off the end of our bed or in between 2 pillows. And Kelly's going to go over this.
Yes, and as you can see, Dr. Mike is now going to squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. That's a key point. A lot of people like to squeeze the shoulder blades up towards your ears, and that's not the muscle we're trying to engage here. So you can see the sequence. He's pulling his shoulder blades down, back, and squeezing between those shoulder blades to lift. And that's going to help engage and strengthen those weak muscles where all those knots like to live in between your shoulder blades. And we're going to do about 10 or 12 repetitions and about 2 sets of those, because those anchors, as I call them, in the shoulder blades really weaken fast. So we need to strengthen those guys.
Good.
And of course, the final one, we've got an exercise band here we like to use. It's the TheraBand. It's got these built-in loops. It's a CLX, so it doesn't put too much stress on your fingers when you use them. Dr. Mike's wrapping it around his feet, of course, as an anchor point. And sitting up nice and tall, he's pulling in that band, pulling in those elbows close to his hips. He's not teetering back and forth. And he's, again, squeezing those shoulder blades to really engage and strengthen those muscles to counteract all the weakening and all the pulling forward and all of those activities drive us in the forward position all day.
So again, guys, we're doing about 10 or 12 of those exercises 3 times. So 3 sets, 10 or 12 reps. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to reverse all of the complications that happen because of over-texting or postural problems. So we're stretching the muscles that are very tight. We're strengthening the ones that are very weak. So we can ultimately take away some of those syndromes like cervicogenic headache, numbness and tingling down the arms, although those are not, these reasons we're giving you today are not the only reasons why they happen. They're one of the most common ones that happen. So I enjoyed our series of Healthy at Home, the neck, today. And if you want to get these exercises at home for yourself, we could send them to you via our new platform called PhysiTrax. Or if you have concerns that you want to deal with at home, you can reach us on our virtual platform through gravenhurstchiropractic.com. And if you want to watch the video of these exercises, it'll be uploaded tonight to our website.
And we look forward to seeing you again next Monday, same time, as we discuss, by popular demand, the knee.
We're going to move down the body a bit and deal with the knee next week.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and all of our watchers right now, Sharon and Jim and Sherry And Brad and Catherine, thank you for tuning in with us this afternoon. And we hope you guys have a great day.
Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.